What's up YouTube? It's Josh Reese back at it again with another video, recording here with Kiwi. Today we're going to be breaking down how you can choose which optometry school is best for you. So when thinking about optometry schools, there's really only three things that it can be broken down to: location, cost of attendance, and lifestyle. Each of these are going to be of varying importance to different people, so go ahead and make sure you start with which one is most important to you. So first is location. For me, this one was the most important one. I'm from Washington, my wife is from Colorado, and so we wanted to choose one in the West, preferably. So for my wife and I, location and cost were really head and head for which one was most important. So for those of you who don't know, there are only 23 colleges of optometry that are available. At least know that's true for the United States and Canada. Not sure about other places in the world, but there are only 23 of them. So here's a map of the United States for where they're at. So location is going to be a super big factor. There's definitely more on the East Coast than the West Coast, but you can really pick your poison and go somewhere in between. Check them all out. I know now with interviews kind of being shifted to online, you can interview at more colleges without having to fly out. Although interviewing in person is definitely the best experience. So when thinking about location, think about is it close to family? Is it where you can see yourself settling down? Is it where you feel like you would like the most professional connections to come from? A city you'd like to visit often in the future? A campus that you'd like to return to. Really, location just boils down to where you can see yourself living. That's a little different than lifestyle, but we'll get into that. Next is cost. So there's this cool little graphic of which schools cost the most. It's broken down into 1, public, and 2, private schools. I'm not sure exactly the difference. I know, like, for example, the Ohio State is going to be sponsored by Ohio, so I think that's more public, but privates are more their own institutions. So public schools are going to be a little bit cheaper in general than private schools, but that's not always true. So cost of attendance is a huge one, so we're going to break this down a bit more. So first you're going to have to look at which school costs less, and that does not just include tuition. Do not just look at tuition, because if you think you're going to get out of optometry school with, just that much in debt, if you can't pay for rent, if you can't pay for any of the lifestyle costs, gas, whatever you're doing, that's going to show up on your loans as well. Your loans are going to have to pay for everything in optometry school if you don't have any savings or income coming in. So don't think, oh, tuition is all I'm going to come out in debt with, because there's definitely some more things on top. So one, you got to look at which school has a preferable tuition cost. 2, which school is going to be in an area that has a low cost of living. For example, if you're going to live in Boston or LA or any of those big city type things, take into account that rent's going to be a little bit more, that groceries are going to cost a little bit more. Now, if you love living there, the benefits are going to outweigh the costs for you. But not everybody takes all of those things into account before going to a school. So just think about that for a second. Now, we all would like to be in as least debt as possible, so I know cost is a varying difficulty for some people to pick, but you also have to take in mind some scholarship opportunities. For example, if you're from the West, most West Coast schools will have a scholarship called WICHE, which is about $18,000 that they put towards your school program to help you, someone from the West that doesn't have a lot of schools, be able to go to optometry school. Now, Washington doesn't, so almost every single other optometrist that I know coming into school got the WICHE scholarship, but not me. So that's okay. But you have to look into scholarships like that. I think there's a lot more scholarships that you could apply for and that you could get that you just aren't searching for right now. I know there's military scholarships, there's public service scholarships, there's a bunch of scholarships that'll really make a dent. So don't not go to a school you love just because of cost, because there might be some scholarships available to you that'll offset the cost. Now, for me personally, I know that I'm going to be in debt no matter where I go to. I don't have enough money saved up that if I went somewhere, I'd be able to pay for it out of pocket or get all scholarship to cover it. All roads in optometry school were going to lead to debt. So I didn't let cost outweigh the third one, which was lifestyle. When you go to visit that optometry school, can you see yourself living there? Is it in a place where you like? Do you like big cities? Do you like small cities? I know, for example, in Oklahoma, it's going to be more of, it's just optometry school, not really a campus life. There's really small class and you're in Oklahoma. Versus something like the Ohio State or Houston, where you're in a college campus life and you get to go to football games, right? It's right there with this big university setting. Or something like Midwestern University, where there's other professional schools involved, so you still get the campus life, but it's really niche down into optometry and into the healthcare professions. So really think about where you can see yourself living. There are some things that are way more important to some people and less important to other people. Take all of those into account when you're planning which optometry school you should go to. So recap of the video, there's only 3 things you need to look at: location, cost, and lifestyle. So figure out which one's most important to you and go start narrowing schools down. There's only 23. Just go ahead, go to each website. Not all the websites are great because they're professional schools, right? But one thing you do need to know is that there's someone whose full-time job it is to respond to emails of people who would like to go there. So go ahead and email all of the admissions counselors to all the schools you're interested in and really think about which school will be right for you. And I know that whatever you choose, you're going to be a great optometrist at the end of the day. Everyone has high boards passing rates. Odds are you're not going to be the last one in your class and you're not going to fail boards, and you are going to be an optometrist. So it doesn't matter too much where you go, but matters that you are going to be a great optometrist someday. So go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to get more out of your optometry journey, and comment down below which school you want to go to or which school you did go to. Bye.